Audience feedback. So I've learned a great deal from my audience feedback about what to improve about my digipacks and my album adverts, to what colour clothing our artists should wear, for etc. Joggers or a suit. I have asked many questions, for example, to my target audience about what locations that they would like to see in a rap video. So after gathering all this research, I could then edit my designs to fit what my target audience wanted to see and what would appeal to them the most. After gathering the research before shooting my music video about what locations they'd want, what colours they'd want to see, and how the artist should be portrayed as, we could then change our playing around to make sure it would appeal to our target audience and to make sure it meets their needs. So overall, my audience feedback did allow me to make my final products grow and to change. For example, when telling my target audience the locations I would be using, they said I should use more of a variety of different places. For example, shops, coffee shops, outside, indoors. When asking for feedback for my album advert, they suggested I should use more media platforms. As for example, I was using Spotify and Apple Music. I didn't use Tidal, for example. With my album advert, I got feedback once I had designed it about making the fonts bigger and bolder to make sure they stand out more and that it was visible for my audience to read. They said that the title of the song name should be bigger and bolder and that the lyrics should be written below. For my music video, when it was played back to my target audience, they said that there should be more effects. So to change this, I would make a lot more effects throughout the video, making it more interesting. For example, throughout the video, when we first showed it to them, at the start there were loads of effects, but as you moved on towards the end, it got a bit duller. So by showing my target audience feedback that, they got to tell me what to change and what I should make a lot better. So I followed through by this. Another thing that was mentioned about our music video was that we did too many shots of fills straight after each other. So in order to change this, that we mixed it up. So we used some shots of shops and some roads in between each filled shot to make sure it wasn't boring and that it was exciting to watch. So my research was of course vital when making our music video, as we had to ask our target audience feedback, as they were the ones we were aiming our music video to. So if they didn't understand a location or what a certain costume was that our artist was wearing, it would be important for us to know to fix it to make sure we were aiming at what they would like to enjoy. So, for example, my research was important as I needed to see the trend of the outfits that the artists were wearing throughout all different kinds of rap videos. For example, I found they were mostly dark and baggy clothing, for example, black hoodie, black joggers, and not necessarily a suit or jeans or a yellow shirt, etc. Of course, it was vital for our audience to see that, so we weren't breaking conventions or what normal rap artists would wear, and so it would attract our audience. Another important part of my research was finding out what occasions were typically used in the genre of this rap genre music videos, as we would find out it was more gloomy, dark outdoor settings and that's what our target audience was expecting, rather than in really happy beach places, holiday resorts, Another thing was props. So in rap genres, we wouldn't really see like a briefcase or like an ice lolly. We would normally see like a cigarette or some kind of weapons or a vehicle being used. So this is why we use cigarettes and cars during our music video, as that's what was kind of associated with our genre. So my feedback was very successful, as I learned from it how to improve and what to change. Without my feedback, my target audience might not have liked what I've went with. For example, with the music video, they didn't know. I might not have known what looked good, what looked bad, what went well, what to improve. It helped me a lot to see what was wrong with my music video, if there was something I was missing out or something that didn't quite match it. For example, towards the end of my music video, it became repetitive and boring. My target audience wasn't finding it like fun to watch and wasn't enjoying it. So I tried to change a few of the shots a bit and not repeat anything. So the feedback on my album advert and digipacks was very useful, as I got to change a lot of fonts, sizes, writings, as my target audience found it really tricky to read. So that helped a big deal, because if it wasn't for the feedback, then I wouldn't have known that my audience wouldn't be able to read it. So of course, no one would be able to read it, and it would have been useless. So for my album advert, the fact my target audience said I should include in more social media platforms were very successful, as it helped me a lot to reminded me that these days that's how my target audience download their music. So if it wasn't to put more of them up, then maybe it might not have been that successful or popular or got around a lot more. So however, it would have been a bit more beneficial, for example, asking a lot more questions and having a bit more range of the target audience. So I could have benefited from more of my target audience feedback. For example, asking my secondary target audience what they thought, because although it's not aimed at them directly, it's more than my secondary target audience. They could have told me things I could have picked up on, what to improve, and it could have helped me with my first target audience. Also asking a bigger range of my target audiences. Instead of asking 5 people, I should have asked like 25 people, because they could have given me lots more pointers that I necessarily didn't really see, or my target audience, that the people that I've asked, didn't really see. So it could have changed a lot. So overall, I think my target audience really did help me. It helped me in telling me what to improve, not what to improve, telling me what looks good, what doesn't look good, what they expect to see, what they don't expect to see, and what I was doing right and what I could have done better. But overall, I think a little bit more feedback would have done me better, as I could have picked up little things that I necessarily didn't see along the way.